seek Him with the whole heart. What's another phrase we normally use? Most people are half-heartedly seek to do it.
Yeah.
If we're right, I mean, most people just half-heartedly brush in and out of something. They really, people that way in life. People just brush through things just in life. They don't diligently do anything right.
There ain't a whole lot of that do.
Verse 34, Pauline.
34.
Uh-huh.
Give me understanding, and I shall keep the law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart.
Now, what does verse 2 say?
It says to seek Him with their whole heart.
All right, and verse 34
It
says,
says, I will observe it with my whole heart.
I will observe it with my heart. Well, let's look and see verse 69.
69. The proud have forced a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart.
Creepers. How about 115?
115. Let's see here. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God.
Okay, and verse 129?
129. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore doth my soul keep them.
Okay, now the question is,
about the testimonies was in the first verse I read.
right, so what were they seeking for? What was it they sought for? You know, there's so many trivial things in the Bible that we can search for. We search for the trivial things. We search for things that have very little necessary of doing so much. But they sought, notice what it says in verse 10. They sought, they inquired, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you. They wanted to know about this grace that was to come unto you. The grace that should come. Of the grace that should come unto you. Meant for you of a favor that should be shown to you in the gospel. Not only in their time, but what was to come in the future to all men. The benefit was as real as though the prediction had been solely on their account. They were examining their own prediction with care to ascertain what they meant. They were given prophecies of the grace that was to come. God gave it to them, but after they wrote it down, after it was written down, they took the notes. They wrote it down, what God told them to write down. They didn't do this. They didn't leave it on the church pew. They took what God gave them in the form of their paper, and they took it and they said, I want to search this out. They didn't have instant knowledge. They may have gone to a library and found out what Isaiah said about it. If they had any other, if they went, probably, I don't know if Moses had got his book written or not, but they went to the Pentateuch, and they said, when Isaiah said something, he would go back and say, what did Moses say about this? They just didn't write it down and just throw it aside. They sought diligently to understand what God revealed to them. Why do you think that we spend so much time? People ask me all the time, well, I see this time, what about your salvation? It's real or not real? Can you keep it or not? You have the assurance or not? I want to know. I was diligently searching this out, and there is 100. I forgot. Let me see if I can find it. Over 100 places, articles that I begin to read to search out. If someone asks me, is my salvation for real? I can say, yeah, your salvation is real. Well, how do you know that? How can you prove it with Scripture? I had to diligently study it. What does God say? Not what I'm saying. They were examining their own prediction. They studied them as we do today, predict what has been made. And though they were the medium which the truth was made known, yet their own predictions became the subject of careful investigation to themselves. When do you think the Lord is coming back? See, you just threw that out because you've always heard that. You can't back it up with Scripture because your word soon could be tomorrow.
I just felt like it, though.
So you walk up to somebody and you say, well, I feel like he's coming back tomorrow. Are they going to listen to you?
Well, of course not.
Of course not.
Because they're going to say, well, I've heard that all my life.
The Bible, there are 2 verses in the Bible that give us some indication just how long it's going to be. I put that on one of the, and this girl says, what verses are you talking about? And I said, find it out yourself. There are 2 verses that give us an indication when Jesus is coming back. All right, see if you can find it yourself. Let me know Sunday. I'll give you a sucker if you know the answer. I'm not telling you the answer. Okay. It gives you the time. They were studying what manner could refer to what persons the prophecy was really uttering. Who is the person of grace? Who is he? When Jesus came, the Jews didn't know who he was. Because they didn't diligently search who he was. The grace that would come, the subject of their study, was grace. That word grace is more than salvation. Salvation speaks about the act of saving. Grace speaks of the motive and takes in all the redemptive history of salvation. There was a plan of salvation. God had a plan whereby He was going to bring salvation. Salvation is the gift, but what was the motive behind it? How did He do it? What is the motive behind God's saving work? Grace takes in salvation, but it is a bigger term. They were very interested about this grace that God had established that would embrace the world. They were not saying that grace could come, meaning that grace was not in their time, for grace was in their time. The glory of God was for them too. God was gracious in their age and showed favor in their time as He does today. Exodus 33 verse 19.
Exodus 33, 19.
God was gracious in their time. From the time of Moses, He's been gracious, but they hadn't put it all together yet. Exodus 33 verse 19.
Oh, 33.
33 verse 19.
I thought you said Exodus 3.
I said, I may have, but that's beside the point. Is it on your notes? Is that in your notes somewhere? Exodus 33, 19?
Yeah.
That's not always right either. 33, 19.
And He said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim my name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will shew mercy on whom I will show mercy.
Dorothy, do you believe that verse? You're a good Calvinist.
Yeah, I believe all the verses.
Do you believe, Pauline? Pauline, is it in your? You have that verse? Would you read it out in case Bill Bill didn't read it right? Just see if he may have read it wrong. Let me read it. You read it.
And He said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
That couldn't be right. Do you have that in your NIV? Read it.
Kind of choicey.
The Lord replied, I will make all my all my goodness pass before you, and I will call out my name, Yehovah, I guess that's how you say it.
Selah.
Selah. Before you.
Pause and think.
Before you.
That's what it means, Selah means stop and think.
Okay. For I will show mercy to anyone I choose, and I will show compassion to anyone I choose.
Huh? Wait a minute. Bill, you said it. Pauline, you said it.
And she said,
Janet, you said it. You believe that? Does anybody not believe that?